Hey, Growth Squad, welcome to another episode of the Eugene Hamilton podcast. Hope you're doing well. This is the last time that we've been together. Hope that life has been treating you awesome. Hope that great things are happening for you and your family, those that you love, hold near and dear to you. And I hope that great things are continuing to happen for you. Today's episode is probably completely different from what we've been doing for the last year and a half. But I felt the need because I've been able to crack the code in a couple of areas, right? And I want to share this. This podcast is not just about one particular thing. It's not about me. It's about what I can share with you, what kind of value I can add to your life. So I want to get started and get going right quick. God, we thank you for today. Bless us now. Give us ears to hear and a mind to understand. In your name, amen. I have been a professional speaker for 20 plus years. Right. One of the things that I discovered in speaking, right, in sharing, in giving a message, whether it be to a school, whether it be to adults, whether it be to a faith-based community, whether it be at on corporate levels, what I've discovered is this: people enjoy authenticity, and oftentimes authenticity is born out of your ability to relay, to give, to share from your heart. Things that have really happened in your life. And I have people all the time, man. I get a chance to travel this great globe, sharing with groups of all different sizes. And every single time, just about every single time, every single group I talk to, people ask me, how can I do what you do? But what steps should I take? What steps do I need to take to get to where you are? First of all, don't aspire to get to where I am. Aspire higher, please. I am not the bar by any stretch of anybody's imagination. I'm learning this thing I'm on this journey with you. I'm learning every step of the way. But what I do learn, I've learned this because I got to where I am because somebody shared and gave insights from their own journey with me. Somebody had the courage or looked at me and said, you know what? I see something in you. Here is how you can get to the next step. Right. So there are those who are listening to this podcast who desire to be more comfortable in speaking publicly. I got a message not long ago from someone who asked me, and they sent me a video. Brave. This person had courage and asked me for pointers on their speech they gave to their company. I'm talking about their team, and they're the team lead. And they said, man, I bombed this thing. What are some things I could have done differently when I was sharing with my team? Now, I wasn't sharing my story. I wasn't doing a motivational speech. I was just simply giving some stuff to them that I heard from the top, that I heard from management, that they wanted my team to hear. But in my presentation, man, I really fumbled it. And I viewed the presentation, I viewed the video, I looked at, and man, they had the information. They had point A, point B, point C. They had all the bullet points. They had the nice PowerPoint presentation. But one thing that they missed, that people I often see who have to speak publicly, who have to speak to their team, to their teams, who have to relay a message to their group, to their department, to the warehouse floor. One thing, and if you hear nothing else on this episode, one thing that people often miss, if you're the senior class president and you got to talk to your peers, whoever you are, if you're a teacher standing in front of a classroom and you got the proper information, you got the right information. If you're a principal talking to your team, if you're whoever you are, if you are a CEO talking to those that are with you, partners and so forth, if you are middle management and you got to relay a message to those that are working with you, here is what I see lacking all the time. And here's what I saw lacking on that video that was sent to me, that was full of information, that was accurate, that was on point, information that could actually help those individuals that they were relaying the message to. What I saw, number one, was a lack of confidence. If you're going to be successful in speaking to people and communicating a message, I ain't talking about keynoting or on front of a stage of thousands. If you're going to talk to your group of 5, your group of 10, your group of 2, your group of 200, if you're going to relay a message to those that you serve, that they're going to leave and know full well that what you gave them is going to change their work life, their personal life, their professional life, you got to be confident in the message that you're giving. So many people I see bomb, not because they don't have the right information, but how they relay the information. Have you ever been to, let's say, a church service and somebody shared a message that was similar to the person that shared that same kind of message the week before, but it hit different? What hit different was not the information. They used the same Bible text. They used the same parable. What the information didn't hit different. Their confidence about the message hit different. Their confidence in themselves to deliver that message hit differently. So what I see is individuals who have to serve. If you're a basketball captain of your team and you got to rally those troops, listen, it's funny. I'm a Jameis Winston fan. If you don't know who Jameis Winston is, go look him up. Jameis Winston played quarterback for Florida State. He was drafted first overall by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and since leaving Tampa Bay, he's been like a little journeyman. He this last year he played for the New York Giants. The year prior to that, he played for the Cleveland Browns. But I first really came to appreciate all he has to offer is when he spent 2 seasons as a backup to Drew Brees for the New Orleans Saints. That's my team. Yeah, that's my team. If you got some merch, some New Orleans Saints merch that you've made, you want me to rock on the show, hey, I promise you, I'll rock it for you. But I'm a New Orleans Saints fan through and through. I'm talking about back when we were wearing trash bags and paper bags with the eyes cut out. And this era that we were in with Drew Brees was new, man. I'm true to this. When I was born, I mean, our team was horrible. But Jameis Winston became a member of the New Orleans Saints. And from one, I saw that he was confident, even though it's not cool. I wouldn't say it's not cool. Even though it's not really the league for a person being a person of faith. And it's not that, it's not illegal. But you don't see a lot of outwardly show of individuals sharing their faith. I saw that Jameis Winston, first of all, was not ashamed to share his faith. Secondly, I saw that he was never, ever running from criticism. Oh, man, they would rip him up, man, about his play, about his lack of play, and he would stand tall and take it. But the third thing I saw, oh, man, this dude is confident. I mean, the message he could be given, he could say the words wrong. He could say the words backwards. He could have the wrong packaging, but, man, that confidence never wavers. The way he packaged his messages in terms of point picture, or the layout of his storytelling ability. Hey, it may not be cookie cutter. It may not be not cookie cutter. It may not be textbook. That's the word I'm looking for. But he never lacks confidence. So the next time, listen, this is not a master class, but it's a class. Even if you've got to address, because some people are afraid to even address family members. Some people are afraid, the word afraid is kind of loosely being used right now, but they don't feel confident in themselves when they're having to relay a message to people that they know might appreciate the message and they may not appreciate the message. Everybody you work with, they might not be in love with you. But if you're standing on business, right? If you're confident in what you're sharing, you ain't there to make sure that everybody's that everybody's in your clapping, your applause corner. That's not why you're there. You're there to do your job. And when you have to speak up and speak to a group, to a team, the key to ensuring that message hits people in the right place so that they can leave and implement it, you got to be confident. Number two, you got to know your stuff. Confidence oftentimes, listen, let me say it this way. People often lack confidence because they're unsure of themselves or the content that they're sharing. If you're not familiar with the content that you're sharing, if you're not familiar with the message that you're giving, if you're just winging it, you're going to be confident. If you're just up here just flying by the seat of your pants, you're not going to be confident in what you're sharing. So I want you to certainly be confident. But number two, I want you to be competent, right? If I've got a message from corporate that I got to give to my team of 35 techs, and I haven't read, I saw, ding, there came a message from corporate, and I just saw the subject line. And I tried to go wing a message to my team based on the subject line. You're out of order. You're not familiar with the content. You're not familiar with what corporate told you to give to that team, right? So the best way for me to be confident in what I'm sharing with the team and that it's going to hit the right place and get into their minds so they can implement it is to ensure that I go through. Listen, teachers are oftentimes hit with new curriculum, new standards. And sometimes they find themselves so frustrated that they don't properly read through the new standards, the new guidelines. And they find themselves sometimes out of whack, out of order because they're familiar with their subject matter, but they're unfamiliar with how to package it so that it meets these standards. That's all I'm saying. If your desire is to get on stage, I put together something that's coming out real soon, right? I ain't gonna say just stay tuned. Just stay tuned. Stay tuned. I put together something that I think for those who desire, right? Again, people are always looking to pick my brain, asking me questions about how to get in different spaces and places. I think I've got the answer for you. And I want you to stay tuned to that announcement. But prior to that, before that even happens, imagine sitting in an auditorium, sitting at your cubicle, sitting in some kind of office space, and the powers that be have summoned you, they have called for your attention. Imagine you sitting there having to sift through a message that hasn't been properly put together. Oftentimes, people who lead teams, people who speak in public, oftentimes they forget how it feels to sit in the chairs and be on the receiving end of what's being given. Oftentimes, people forget how it feels, difficult or not, to be on the receiving end of an ill-prepared message, of an ill-prepared presentation, of a piecemeal message that no. Listen, before I get up on every single stage, listen, the other day, I was in front of a group of 10-year-olds. Woo, man. And I thought to myself, if I were 10 years of age, number one, what would I want to hear? Number two, how would I want to receive it? Right? And number three, I'm thinking to myself as I'm a 10-year-old about to receive a speaker or a motivational person to come into my school, what do I want to take away from that person? So here it is. Short and sweet today. In order for you to begin communicating in a way that people can receive and are receptive of whatever you have to say, whether you're a professional speaker, whether you're a team lead, whether you're a team captain, whether you're a class president, in order for people to be receptive of what you have to say, the first thing you've got to know is that you've got to be confident. Now, let me put a quarter in the meat and pork right here, because confidence doesn't look the same for everybody. I'm not saying you've got to get up and have a message that's the style of this particular public speaker or Les Brown, or I'm saying you got to get up there and have the command the room with your voice like an Eric Thomas, or I'm not saying that, because I've seen people who are soft spoken who know how to command the room just as much as somebody who has a loud booming voice. So it's not about loud or soft. It's about how you use what you have. It's about being confident in what you have to share, in your ability. This is where I am. This is what I'm trying to get to. In your ability to convey that message. Your ability to convey that, whatever that message is, whatever that report is, whatever that, your ability to do it. I should see that you're confident in doing it. Not so much that you're braggadocious. Is that a word? Not so much that you're up here so confident that you look arrogant. No. Confidence comes from not just in my knowledge. Confidence comes from, oftentimes, your desire to properly relay the message so that the hearer can take what you have to say and do something with it. Oftentimes people be talking on stages just to be talking. Your goal ought to be, as I'm talking, are people able to digest what I'm saying and put into play immediately something that I have to share, that I have to say, that will enhance their life and their being and add value to them. So I know today is a little bit different. I'm not doing the regular motivational, inspirational topic. Today, I wanted to talk about your ability to communicate, how communication should look coming from you, no matter what the crowd looks like or who they are, and how you should always be confident because you're competent, and that you've kept those individuals in mind that will hear your message, and you give it to them right where they are, so their lives will be better, their work will be better, and we can all move forward knowing that we've been served, been blessed by something of substance. Listen, I hope that you have heard something today that will help your work, help you out in your profession, help you out. Again, you don't have to be a keynote public speaker, but wherever you are, whatever you're doing, we all have to communicate with other people at some point. So I hope these few pointers, will have more to come, of these few pointers on communication will help you just a little bit so that you can help others. All right. Thank you again for tuning in today. Thank you always for your time, for your attention. Thank you for liking, subscribing, and sharing. And thank you for making sure that you gave this message to somebody. Drop it in their inbox, text the link to them, let them know they need to hear this. If they are serious about communicating well in 2026, they need to hear this. You need to hear this. So share it out. Have a wonderful rest of your week. Keep going, keep growing, keep glowing, and I'll see you next time. Peace.